Ladies, gentlemen, and others, welcome back to Boz Comics. Today is a good day because we're just straight up reviewing some comics. Batman number 95 just came out, and it's the first part of the new Joker War saga. Uh, Last couple of issues of Batman, the Dark Designs storyline. The long story short of it is the Joker managed to steal the Wayne fortune. And so now, Joker is the one with all the wonderful toys, to quote Batman 89. So it's an interesting story that I don't really think we've seen before. There was that episode of the animated series where the Joker mistakenly thought that he was worth several $1 million. It's a whole thing. And he kind of goes on a lavish spending spree, and it all turns out to be a sham by another mobster or whatever. But even that, I mean, that was the cartoon, and that was kind of a comedic episode. This is this is a lot more serious. This is comic book Joker with the wealth of Bruce Wayne. Um, and we get to see how horrifying that would be. Joker is going around buying up properties. He's going after Batman in this whole new way. Is breaking into Wayne Enterprises and hacking their systems with the help of his new sidekick, Punchline, who um, I still don't know what to think of her yet. The jury's still out on that character. Apparently, there's a special issue that was put out that kind of goes into her origin. I haven't read it yet. Maybe if I take a look at that, it will help me figure out how I feel about the character. But regardless, she's in this. She has a little fight with Batman. It's kind of cool. I'm kind of like talking in vagaries because these are like 32-page issues. That's the problem with like reviewing a comic book, right? I'm not interested in just summarizing the events of the issue to you. I want you to go out and read the damn thing. Um, so this is just the opening shots of the Joker War. So it's Joker going around using his ill-gotten fortune to fight Batman like he never has before. Um, Wear him down, wreak massive havoc, and really just fuck shit up. But as dark and twisted as things are in this issue, we get some really lovely moments between Bruce and Alfred in flashbacks because unfortunately Alfred's dead right now, which sucks. Man, that really sucks. Um, but there's some lovely flashback stuff going on. There's a touching moment that I won't spoil between Batman and Lucius Fox. Uh, that was kind of spoiled in advance in a way by some comic news outlets. It really fucking annoys me. It would have been cooler if I didn't know this was coming. But there's a really touching moment there. It's a lot of fun. Um, I find this whole Joker War scenario to be really interesting, because I have not felt this kind of tension in a Batman comic in a while. Um, I'm a big I'm a big defender of Tom King and his Batman. I really liked it, but I will say that especially towards the end of his run, things were getting a little drawn out. So even though the stakes in that series were or that arc were really high, the whole city of Bane and whatnot, um, the pacing was kind of draining some of that tension out. These really short sagas by Tinian, I think, or is it Tynan? I always say his name wrong and I hate it. Um, but these shorter story arcs, I think, really work to kind of propel the story forward and keep the tension high. It's really cool. Um, I like seeing this side of Batman. I think this is probably the perfect blend between badass and capable, but also vulnerable and human. Um, I think one of the biggest problems with Batman in general is that there's so many different interpretations that people have of Batman, And I don't mean just like, oh, there's like the Joel Schumacher Batman, there's the 60s Batman, like shit like that. I just mean like even within modern comics, people want different things from Batman, right? There are some people like me who really like Tom King's run, even though a lot of us seem to get shouted down. Um, the more emotional Batman, who's more clearly a flawed and fractured human being with his emotions kind of more to the forefront. There are also those who prefer Batman to barely say anything at all, and they prefer him to be more of like an elemental force, something ethereal and terrifying. Um, there are also some who would prefer Batman to just be like a straight up action hero in a costume, more akin to like the pulps back in the day, right? Where he's just like a detective in a bat suit. Um, there are all manner of modern era interpretations of Batman, and I think that this run has done a really good job of kind of merging some of the best aspects from those different interpretations. And I think that seeing Batman kind of in such a low point, outgunned by his own designs, having his own resources turned against him, has kind of pushed him into this really fascinating, vulnerable state. Um, Also, just as an aside, uh, the Joker uh, and his sidekick torture Lucius Fox in this issue, and it's really horrific. Oh my God. Um, I mean, I've never been a huge fan of Lucius Fox outside of Morgan Freeman's portrayal in the Nolan films, but goddamn, oh, this made me uh, feel some things. Oh boy. Oh, I hope he comes out of this okay. My prediction is that Lucius Fox is actually going to die at the conclusion of this arc. We'll have to see. Or he's going to stop being Batman's new Alfred at the very least. They've already kind of hinted at that um, at the start of Tinian's run. Where a couple issues back, Lucius was saying, like, Bruce, I don't think I can do what Alfred could do. I can't be all things to you. I can either run your company or I can be your man in the chair. I can't do both. Um, so that was already kind of set up, and now he's really getting put through the ringer here. So I do wonder if he's gonna kind of move away, literally or figuratively, from the Batverse going forward after this traumatic experience. Plus, there's the whole thing about 5G and the rumored kind of line wide reset that DC might be staring down the barrel at. Um, where initially it was rumored that um, Lucius's son, Luke Fox, who has been Batwing previously, was going to take over as Batman from Bruce Wayne. Now there's all sorts of talk that 5G has been, if not canceled, it has been heavily reworked to be more of an AU, like kind of a what if story, or like just like severely truncated and might just like appear in backups, you know, uh, backup stories, at the end of issues or what have you. So none of this has been confirmed. Nobody knows what the state of 5G is, regardless. Um, or ultimately rather. But it should be interesting to see um, how this stuff with Lucius informs 5G, if we get 5G at all. Um, let's see. Anything else worth saying about this issue? The art. I got a little bit of a pushback when I said that I feel story is far more important than art in comics. So I need to make more of a concerted effort to pay attention to the art. Um, just to keep people happy, you understand. The art was good. I enjoyed it. I mean, there's not much to say. It's the same shit we've been seeing for a while, and that's okay because I like it just fine. I think it works. I think it's really cool. Um, we get to see some fun bat gadgets, a couple of Batmobiles in this issue. So it's fun. It's cool to see that shit drawn. The thing that I think was the coolest, I don't want to spoil for you. You'll know it when you see it, right? It's that big kind of emotional moment between Bruce and Lucius that unfortunately does get undercut by the bad guys somewhat. You'll know it when it happens. I thought it was really cool. I fucking hate that it was spoiled. Um, and I really hope they do something more with what's there going forward. We'll have to see. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna cut it there. This is just a standard comic book review. Batman number 95. I thought it was a good time. Uh, I'm I'm interested to see what's next. Because I think Joker War is only going to be 3 issues, so I'm wondering what they're going to do leading up to the 100th issue. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. Man, I hope 5G turns out to be a whole bunch of bullshit ultimately, because right now they're really tearing down Bruce Wayne, and uh, I really hope that this doesn't turn out to be kind of like an Ultimate Spider-Man kind of killing and then replacing the character. Man, sucks so much. We'll have to see. All right, guys, thanks so much. I hope you enjoyed this review. And I will see you guys next time.